Hey, hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining today, everybody. We are pretty darn excited about the night that is planned. So we've got some special guests to introduce, and we'll be introducing them to some of the rums that Durell has been so excited to share. The entire time that we have started this channel, Durell has been wanting to do a rum flight, and tonight is the night. So we're going to dive into this. Hey, if you got some rum, pour it with us. Let's enjoy some rum on this Whiskey Wednesday. Thanks for joining, Whiskey Friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. Now, as we're getting started here, I did do a pregame pour, so I thought this was fitting, but I am enjoying some bourbon to kick things off, and I've got the 4x4 gate. So, theoretically, if I read into this name, it should be 4-gate finished in Foursquare. So it felt pretty fitting. Now, my own rum journey, at least in terms of the higher end rum, started, I guess 2020 would have been about the year, Durell. Had to be 2020. But Durell was the one who introduced me to rum, and Durell was the one that was a bad influence. And that probably doesn't come to the surprise of anybody here. So let's introduce the bad influence himself, Durell.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is going to be a fun one, because Jason and Brandy, they haven't had any of these. And I know Kelsey and Jeff hasn't had maybe one or two of these. But introducing somebody or people to good rums, in my opinion, is pretty fun. They're tasting through it blindly. We'll get into it a little bit more, but it's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. And I guess I'll do a little spoiler somewhat. But if you watched Durell's review earlier, that rum is in this flight. So that'll be the first time that I get to taste it and the first time Kelsey gets to taste it, too. So I'm looking forward to tasting the Foursquare Touchstone. And let's bring in the other person that's real excited to taste it. Kelsey.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys all in here. Excited to drink my dessert tonight. So it will be fun. And if you guys have not tasted Foursquare rum, you need to go out and try some, because I'm telling you, cask strength rum is a way different experience than probably what you've been used to if you've tried rum before. So
100%.
All right. Well, let's get our special guests in here. We got Jason and Brandy from the Black Bourbon family.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Cheers to y'all.
Cheers. Thanks for inviting us.
No, of course, man. It's our pleasure. We like bringing people on here, exploring, battles, just a whole bunch of different things. But this in particular was fun for me because I've been wanting to try to get people to dive down that rabbit hole to rum like I did. And you guys were perfect because you really haven't dived into much rum at all, you said. So as bourbon drinkers, I hope you enjoy these, because I know I did, and everybody that I introduced them to so far has, but everybody's palate is a little different.
Well, they smell good. They smell really good.
And you may be creating another problem, Durell. She gets already about buying so much bourbon. So now, if I start buying all this rum, I may have some problems over here.
I'll come find you.
We make good cocktails.
I told you he's a bad influence. I warned you right off the top. Now, if it makes you feel any better, all of these are aged in ex-bourbon casks. So it's kind of bourbonish.
Yeah. We're always open to try something different.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Nice.
Well, why don't you give everybody a quick introduction to yourself? Make sure everyone knows who you are, where to find you.
Sure. You want to go?
No, go ahead. You're great at it. You're great.
Well, let me just start by saying this. We haven't been around lately. Just life has hit us, not in a bad way, but just we've been so busy. We were in the middle of doing a single barrel tournament, and we were at the final match, and we haven't recorded it yet. And so we're still going to do it. So if any of our subscribers are out there, we're still going to do the final match. It's between Russell Reserve single barrel and Weller 107 single barrel. So we're still going to do it, but yeah, we are the Black Bourbon family. We do bourbon reviews. Brandy gives me the eye when I say something crazy, which kind of like right now. But yeah, we just enjoy doing bourbon reviews. We've been doing it. It'll be 3 years in October.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we've been on this journey for a while. We've enjoyed it so far. And just, we like to meet great people like you all. So that's who we are. And we're just excited to try some rum. I told you all prior to this that we've only nibbled in rum, like 2 different types of rum that we've tried. But yeah, we're excited. And like Brandy said, this stuff smells good.
It does. And my mom is a big rum drinker, so maybe I'll give her something else to try.
Nice.
Give her some more ideas.
Perfect. Let me just move this.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think the one that I was surprised about that didn't move on in your tournament was that Michter's 10-year too. I think that one got beat by maybe a wild turkey.
Wild turkey, Kentucky Spirit. Yeah. So here's what I would say about that one. It was close. I think that one actually, did that go to Siri?
I think it did.
It may have went to Siri.
It did.
But what I will say, had it been this year's Michter's 10-year,
without a doubt,
there wouldn't have been any competition. That would have blew Kentucky Spirit out the water. And Kentucky Spirit is one that I really enjoy. But this year's Michter's 10-year is amazing. It is.
You hid it from me. I don't even know where it is.
Yeah.
I would have to hide that one from myself too. That thing's not Michter's 10-year. That thing's like Michter's 15. That thing's so good.
That
I've never had any of that.
Stuff it's crazy. The new one, and it's out there. Like granted, retail may be a little tough, but even at the price point of what secondary values are on it, it's worth every penny.
Yeah, that 10 is very good. It's very, very good.
Well, we got 28 people in here so far. Let's say hi to some people before we get started with this flight. Let's see who was in here first.
Ramhound, I seen earlier.
Ramhound, there we go. First in. Cheers, buddy. Man, he got the whiskey saying himself.
Who's that guy?
All right. Andy Rhodes in here. Top dog. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Hit that like button, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hey, Katie Turk's in here. I'm sure Ethan will follow shortly. Doug H as well. Cheers, buddy. Brad Webb, too. All right. And then there's Kelsey. Hey, Kelsey, why don't you take the next couple of people here and say hello?
All right. Sounds like a plan. If I can scroll back up. I know Fancy Francie. Oh, my God, I even can't say it. Fancy Franchi, I definitely saw was in here. Let's say that fast 5 times. Big Vic is in here. Will Henderson. There's my buddy Jason. Cheers, buddy. He kept me up too late last night. If y'all don't know, I'm an old fart to compare to these people. I usually go to bed at like 9 o'clock, and so right around 9 o'clock, I'm usually dead. But he kept me up till like almost midnight last night, smoking cigars and eating barbecue and drinking bourbon. So,
oh man,
Sounds
I
like
need
a
the invite next time.
Exactly. Popham is in here.
Kelsey
Good
ain't
to see
kidding,
you.
though, man. As soon as 9 o'clock hits, Kelsey's phone goes to like do not disturb notification mode. Like we'll just be sitting there texting, and he just does like an Irish goodbye. And it's just like, don't talk to me anymore.
I saw Andy and Todd in here. I'm pretty sure it's probably Todd. 21090. Those guys are awesome content. Make sure you go check them out. I know I'm excited about their Still Austin single barrel that they're doing too. That's gonna be cool. William Hall is in here as well, and I think we're almost caught back up.
Decent amount up top that I seen.
Yeah, there's Shauna.
Let me scroll over
Scroll
here.
back up. I've got a new computer and it's not. There we go. Now I figured it out.
Yeah, there's
There's
Papa Wolf.
you.
And then Gary and Peter B. I saw too. Hey, Adam.
There's
too.
Adam's in here. So, Stacy,
Oh, man.
cheers.
There's Shauna, Sugar Kitties
Can't
in
skip
here.
over all these great people, Kelsey. Come on.
Sorry, new computer, man. I'm telling you, I switched over from a PC to a Mac, and I'm still adjusting to where all the controls are and things.
Nate Cox, cheers to you. I think that's pretty much it now, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I remember. I know maybe some of the people in here remember too. When I first met Jason and Brandy, they were on Mash and Drum, and coming. That's been a little over a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
But that's how I got turned on to you guys, because of Mash and Drum. So it's fun that we're just a year later and here we are talking again. It's really cool to have you guys on the channel and hang out with you.
Yeah, same here. Yep. Jason put us on the scene, you know.
He did. He really did. So thank you.
Yep.
Nice. You guys ready to dive into one?
Oh yeah.
Are you thirsty?
Durell, why don't you give everybody kind of a preview of what we're doing and how you want to manage this thing?
Yeah, so we have a total of 5 samples, all rum, all ex-bourbon. The only one that's not a Foursquare is the last one that you guys are going to drink. It's the 5th one. But I'm probably, obviously for Jason and Brandy, it's all blind. For you guys, it technically is to an extent. But I'll pull up the bottles as we're chasing through them instead of revealing at the end. You know, because being that you never had any of them anyway, it doesn't really matter that I reveal them early. But I kind of want to walk through the way I set it up, because the first one is kind of the baby sister to the second one you're going to do. So the first one that we're going to drink is the lowest proof of them all. This one's at 96 proof, which is still kind of high for a rum in a sense. But it's 12-year ex-bourbon, ex-Madeira.
Okay.
And this one's called Sagacity, if you can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Saga City. Okay.
So one of those,
And
most
these
of these
Four
are going to be
Squares are real
pretty
nice.
similar. What's that? I'm sorry?
Oh, just man, the Foursquares are real nice because they always got the ages and what cast they were in, and everything's right there on the front of the label.
Yeah, and I don't think I have one that's under 12 years. This may be the youngest one. Yeah, I don't even know if I think all of them are at least 12 for Foursquare. When they do their single barrels with different companies, those I've seen under 12. But anything from Foursquare themselves in this bottle, I haven't seen under 12 years.
Wow.
And I have upwards to 17-year-old in these type of bottles. Then they do what they call a lost cast collection, which is high age, like 17, 23. What's the newest one? 23, Jeff, that we got? Or 24?
The 23 year.
23.
We got the 23 year, and then I got the single cast 15 year that I sent you to.
Yes, that's still up there too. I was going to pull that down. I haven't even tried it yet.
Hey, this smells real good. And you said
I tend to get
bourbon and Madeira?
ex-bourbon, ex-Madeira.
Okay.
And the next one will be the same cask, but it's the older brother. So instead of 12 years, it's a 14-year cask strength version of it, basically.
Oh, okay.
So you can just see kind of what the cask strength does to the same finishing.
Oh, and this is 96?
This one is 96.
Yeah. Go. It gets some. Oh, Brandy don't even want to talk about what she's smelling. She said, "Are we tasting already?"
Just get in there.
I get like a lot of sweet notes on the nose, though.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah.
The sugarcane influence, the vanillas, they're all pretty oaky too, but not overly oaked, in my opinion.
Okay,
but it's very sweet.
Hey, Durell. So what I'm going to ask you, after the show, can you send me the list of these? Because I know.
Did you just take one sip and was like sold?
I sold too. I was like, wait, this sounds like a rum I've ever had before.
Oh man,
Nice.
it's all downhill from this moment.
Mm.
There's gonna be a little rum section of the shelf.
If we had any room.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to go in the garage at this point.
But I would say, like, for this one, it doesn't taste like your typical rum.
No.
At least the
No, it
rum
doesn't.
I've had.
Right. Yeah.
It tastes like a bourbon to me.
It tastes like a bourbon. It's
Yeah.
like it's spicy, it's sweet, and for 96 proof, it actually has a nice, I won't say hug to it, but it has a nice spice
It has some
characteristic.
spice to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, the lower proof the finish kind of carries through with all those flavors. The cask strength ones are pretty nuts, so you'll taste the next one once we get to that.
Okay.
But it just kicks everything up like 5 notches, which is kind of nuts.
Wow. Damn.
But, and it's, I know in your video you mentioned this note, so I won't spoil too much of it, but you know, the higher proof that we seem to get on some of these, you'll start seeing some similarities to light whiskey that Durell talks about
Oh.
in the characteristics of the, as we go up in proof too. So,
Okay.
Yep.
And you know, that's one thing we haven't had is light whiskey.
Oh, okay.
We've never had light whiskey. It's one called Obtainium,
Yeah.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and there was one other one, but we've never been able to get a bottle of anything. So
Oh, we need to hook you up then.
You were
we need
really
to be,
asking for it, you know. Let's just get into rums. Let's get into light whiskeys.
you might as well just go outside and build another bigger doghouse so you can stay in there.
oh my
I need a
god!
shed just for all of this.
But yeah, this
gotta-
tastes. I'm sorry. This tastes a lot like bourbon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does.
Like I got the small rum note on it, like right in the middle of the palate, but like at the beginning and at the end, this just reminds me of a regular bourbon. Not regular, but you know, like a
good
bourbon.
bourbon.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, Durell will throw a rum into a blind bourbon flight just to see if they can guess if it's a rum or not. But it's aged so long in an ex-bourbon cask that it's got some characteristics that you're used to. Like it's got some flavors that you're expecting.
Yeah.
I've thrown them into numerous finish flights, and nobody's ever said it was a rum. They just thought it was a finished bourbon.
Wow. So let me ask you all this, and I don't want to mess up the timing of everything,
No,
but
it's
have
fine.
you all tried that? We haven't, but what is it? The Bardstown with the rum finish.
Plantation.
Oh,
Plantation.
no.
Or
No,
maybe the
Foursquare.
Foursquare
It was
that just
Foursquare as
came
well.
out.
Well, there was the Foursquare and the Plantation. So have you all tried those at all?
I tried the plantation.
When I tried the plantation, it was okay.
Okay.
And when the Foursquare came out, some of the initial reviews, such as Jason, was kind of like, So for 170, I was like, I'm going to take a step back. I've been trying to be a bit more responsible this year.
Yeah.
Like that. So if Jason would have given me a thumbs up, I would have been like, all right. But I was like,
Oh, right. Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, I was gonna say Jason's been trying to be responsible, but you know,
Baby steps. It's baby
he's like,
steps.
it's been 3 weeks.
Hey.
He was like, I'm gonna wait another 3 weeks, and this week counts. And I was like, no, it starts next week. I can't.
I went 3 weeks without buying a bottle of bourbon. That was very
wow.
hard.
That's
See?
pretty
Oh, I
good.
bet. Absolutely.
You see?
Yeah. I'm
She's
impressed.
not buying it.
Seen this question from Ellen's fam. I think this is
Yep.
who asked earlier on YouTube. That I don't know. I got to look into it because I got some friends out there. I know it's all over here for me, which is lovely that I don't have to go and search. And being that it's rum, it sits on a shelf. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
They look at rum at sometimes $80 to $130, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go get me said bourbon. But this stuff will kill a lot of the stuff on that bourbon shelf, man. Especially when you get to the higher proof ones. But I'll look into that Ellen's fam for you for sure, and I'll have an answer by next week.
Yeah, and if not, I mean, I do see it online and not usually marked up too much, too. So there's always that option if they can ship to you.
Okay.
Good enough.
I see
Ready for number 2?
Yeah, Troy
Yeah.
said, Popham said they ruined the Foursquare with trash Dicko.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh.
worried about, Popham.
Get a barrel pick.
Oh wow.
But yeah, William Hall wants to do a barrel pick of some Foursquare. I'd be game for that.
Yeah, go to Barbados. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that.
I'm all in for Barbados.
All right.
Yeah, Marine says it's tasty, just doesn't compare. See, and it's going to be more expensive too. That's the thing.
Okay.
It needs to be better than the thing it's finished in, you know?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
All right. So,
All right, number 2.
Okay.
so, yeah. Number
So which
2.
one is number 2, Durell?
This was the one that sent me down the rabbit hole. This is the Redoubtable.
Oh, this is the one that sent us all down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
14
man.
year, ex bourbon, ex Madeira. So like I said, 2 years older than the last one that we tasted, but this one's 122 proof.
So now we're dialing it up. Cast strength.
So cash strength. Everything else is cash strength from here on.
I mean, this smells like a Buffalo Trace something to me. Like I get the like grapey cherry
I
notes
am getting some grape. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
in this.
If you guys smell this compared to the first one is real dark, and this one's a lot brighter on the nose,
Oh yeah.
which is interesting because it's older,
yeah.
right?
Because it's
You
older,
would think
yeah.
it would be darker on the nose, but it's actually brighter.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's
turned
less
into,
syrupy.
almost
And I'm
a
getting
straight molasses on A now.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say like raisin or molasses that I'm getting on A.
Uh-huh.
Going back to it, yeah, it's like syrupy.
it is syrupy.
The first one? Yeah.
I'm gonna take a sip of this one.
All right.
Oh man, I haven't gone back to this one in so long, Durell. This is exciting.
It's so good.
Stop it. This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
God,
Oh no.
that's where the grape comes out.
Oh
Look
my
at the palate. You get that
God.
bacon.
Oh my God. And wait, so this is available in stores.
This one
Yes.
came out in 2020, so this one's not probably going to be in stores anymore.
I can get you one, Jason, if you want.
Oh, you still got them out there? The
Yeah.
Redoubtable?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I'll Zelle you.
I got you, man. I got you.
Tell me, this is the one that I was like, what?
I'm tasting the grape.
This
Mhm.
is crazy.
Yeah.
This is good.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna turn me into a rum drinker instead of a bourbon drinker.
I know, right?
I split even.
We go back and forth sometimes.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, it's like sweet. It got the kick of bourbon. Like I got a little hug. The hug isn't super long or whatever, but like the flavors.
Flavor is
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal.
And the palate on this one and the finish on this one is really where, in my opinion, it shines the most. The nose is good, but the palate is outstanding on this.
Oh my
Cheers,
God.
EJ.
I think there's like this little bit of oak too that's right on the finish, and it gives you that little
Mhm.
tannic note that you'd be used to in a bourbon as well. And then that grapiness, as you're saying, like it's like a
Yeah.
finished bourbon. It's almost like a finished
Yes.
bourbon.
I get a lot of the grape right at the back of the palate, which I love.
Mhm.
It's just a flavor bomb. It just sits there on your mouth. Like you can, like what I was saying in the review on the Touchstone, like all those flavors just get trapped in your mouth, man. And it just makes that finish more satisfying, right? Like after a sip, like 30 seconds later, you can just lick the inside of your cheek and you're like, ah.
Yeah. Hey, Ben. Oh my God. This, like, I don't even want to drink anything because it's just like right there.
You can just enjoy it, right? The finish on these is so good. It's so oily too. When you kind of look at your glass afterwards. I mean, it just clings. So that's everything that goes into that finish.
I think Popham got something going. He said he thinks that rum
It's better
It's
with
better
bourbon.
with,
Oh, cigars.
I can see that.
That's when we were.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
You pairing these with cigars. I was even thinking like, you could make like a cigar batch out of some of these, Durell. I bet you have all the finishes to do a cigar batch Foursquare.
Probably do. There's a bunch of different ones. The only one I wasn't too keen on was the Zinfandel. And I'm not like I do like wine finishes, but that for some reason is the only one that I didn't like. I took a sip and it's just sat there. But every other release from them has been fantastic.
There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, Ethan.
Mark Mace.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was real excited to post that review for the Durell earlier. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a rum day. Let's post that on Wednesday, and then we'll end the day with the blind flight.
Nice.
Dude, that.
I'm gonna save that for later.
Save yourself some to go back through.
Yeah, save some to go back through too to pick your favorite.
Yeah, I'm curious to what your favorite is. I labeled the bottom of mine because I want to blind 3 of them that have been my favorites.
Hey, Navia.
Oh, maybe. On camera, I didn't even know what you guys were waiting. Ninja. What's over there, silly?
So let me ask you this:
You popped out of nowhere.
Are you trying to tell me that one of these other ones is better than that one that we just had?
That's why I want to blind, because one of them I think is better, but we'll see. So the next 2, or so this one and the next 2 are my 3 favorites out of every release that I got.
Okay.
And then Jason, the well gets deeper though because they do single barrels on these, and then we've been coming across single barrels that are 15 to 23 years old that are.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
he brought one to Kentucky last year when we met up. That was just, I think it was it 22 year that you brought?
The 22.
Oh my god, that was so good, and it was crazy.
So, we may have to delete this live video once it's over. I don't want people finding out about these rums. Because bourbon is already crazy, you know?
Yeah.
If people really knew, like, oh my God. All right, I'm sorry. I'm stop talking.
So, on to number 3, right, guys? So this one is, so they do different variations with just solely a year on there. This one is 2005.
Okay.
And all the ones that are just solely a year are just one cask, just bourbon. Right. So this one's a 12-year solely ex-bourbon cask, but matured exclusively in ex-bourbon for all those years, for all 12 years. So it wasn't like rebarreled into an ex-bourbon.
Okay.
So this one, the last one, and the next one, actually even the last one, which isn't Foursquare, is ridiculous. I probably should find that one too.
So what's the proof on this one?
Oh, sorry. The proof on this one is 118.
Okay. Because I can get the proof. Like it's got some spice on the nose. It's more like trying to think of what note I'm getting on the nose. It's not as grapey as the last one. It's not grapey at all. No. At least not on the nose like the last one.
Yeah, lacking that Madeira, so like that grape that they're using for the wine. That's why you're getting the grapiness off the first. Well, I don't know if it was too much on the first one, but definitely on the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
On the second one, I didn't get it so much on the first one.
On the third one, I'm getting like the burnt ends of like a brownie tray that's covered in powdered sugar.
Very detailed.
That's a great note. Absolutely.
That on the nose? Wow.
That is a great note. Absolutely. Can get that.
Wow. I'm getting some brownie like.
You can
that's what you said. Like the burnt brownies, right?
What is that?
I love the spice on this. It does lack that grape, the grape note, but these are like balanced to a T, man.
Everyone's getting mad at us, Durell. Stop talking about
Then
stop
you
talking
can
about
go
the rum.
We've been talking
Get
so
some
much
bad
about it,
faces
and it
going.
still sits, guys. So we should be safe.
We don't have that many. Let's just be real. We don't have that many viewers that are going to run out and go buy a bunch of rum. Come on.
No.
You never know. You never know. Man, this
Now, we just got to keep it to ourselves and never, ever allow Jason C. to
Dude,
tell
he's doing a
anybody
barrel
about
pick.
rum.
He's
Right.
doing a barrel pick of Foursquare. It's gonna get out.
Wow. This is more, it has spice, but it's creamier to
It's
me.
very creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But I
buttery.
don't know what I'm tasting. What is that?
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's buttery, it's creamy.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, buttery, creamy. You know, I still kind of go back to, it's not quite the brownie, but it's that like that bitter baker's chocolate, like the non unsweetened Hershey powder kind of chocolate.
I do get a slight bitterness on the back,
Yeah.
right at the end,
I get
and
a
it could
little-
be because this one was just exclusively all bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting some dryness, like some oak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the oak, and it's like barrel char oak too.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one sticks around for a while, too.
It
And
does.
all of those oaky notes come in on the finish, on the back of your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think contributes to that too, being that it was just in that bourbon. Bourbon's obviously toasted, right? Being that it spent 12 years solely in a toasted bourbon cask, you're getting a lot of that, probably that burnt brownie.
Yeah.
But when you're mixing like the Madeira and some of the sweet wine finishes, it kind of subdues that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, that's what I was telling them about before we started the show, is that Papa Pilar,
Yeah.
24 years Solera dark rum finished in a bourbon barrel. That's one of their offerings from Papa Pilar, and it is phenomenal.
Really? Okay.
It's not proofy like these, but it's going to be, your normal 80 proof. But man, it's sweet,
Yeah.
flavorful. It's really good as well.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta look that up. See if I can find that one. That one's good.
Yeah.
It's different than the one before, but it's very good. Like, had I not had that one, I would have said this one was my favorite. This is very. I like
He still has my heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I agree with that.
Butteriness of that one. It's very creamy,
like
very
that.
buttery, and it has a little spice to it as well.
I like that creaminess.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it got great legs.
It's everything you're describing versus B that brought those fruit flavors because of that Madeira. It's like,
Yeah.
which one do you want?
Right.
Ben, you're just missing out, buddy.
Absolutely, he is. Oh, like he moving. There's Jeff's other better half.
Hey.
Other better half.
Whiskey is his first other better half.
I don't know if you're making it better or worse.
I don't think I've seen him that red, and I don't think that's sunburn.
You had to clean that up really quickly.
Oh goodness.
That was funny.
Funny.
Oh man.
Oh, that one was good. And so that was, how old was that one? From
That one was 12 years.
Oh, that's 12 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So 12 year, then we did 14, then we dropped back down to 12. The next one's going right back up to 14.
Okay.
And this is the one that I just reviewed.
Oh, look at there.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, Jason.
The mash and drum.
Now, Jason,
Dana,
we just said you cannot start reviewing rums.
yeah, do not pay attention to this, Jason. Jason C.
Yes. Seriously. This.
Dana says I need to stop while I'm ahead.
Gotcha. But the fourth one, guys, it's the newest release from Foursquare.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It's called Touchstone. So this is the one I did a review on today that dropped. So 14-year ex-bourbon, ex-cognac.
Oh.
And I believe, I know I don't have another cognac finish. So they haven't done one in, if they have, they haven't done one in the last God, 8 years, I think it is. But this one,
Oh,
who's
so
on
good
it?
on the
Saucy?
nose. It's
I didn't know
so
who
good
it
on the
was.
nose, man.
It is.
Ethan Turk, you are better beware. You and Katie Brown have to buy like 2 or 3 bottles of this one. He
Yeah, there
loves
you go.
cognac.
There you go.
Good
Yeah,
answer. Good answer.
this
Yep.
don't buy it. This sucks. I don't know why they sent us this stuff. No.
We're gonna take a screenshot of this and we're just gonna post it everywhere. You know,
There you go. Right. We
throw
should be
some
all
smoke
the
screen.
same.
Like the missing child sign, just staple them on telephone poles.
Hey,
Put it on the milk.
cheers, buddy. Thanks for joining.
Good to see you, Touchy Bake.
Hey,
Hey,
Joe,
Joe.
too.
And Joe, cheers, buddy.
Okay. This one sounds good.
all right. There you go, Joe. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for putting that in there, Joe. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh man,
This
I
smells
just wanted to
very
go into
good.
this.
Oh man, I'm
I
excited to
know
get
you
into this
two
one.
all of you haven't had this one.
Oh, none of us have had this one.
Mm-mm.
No,
This
Nope.
this is the
Two
newest. This is
haven't
the
had
newest one. So Durell's the only one that's had
It's
it.
like, all right, I can't hold it.
I know.
this.
I was with them.
But I'll be curious if you like this better than B.
That's got a lot more spice to it.
I was about to say that. It's definitely got a kick.
Mhm.
A lot of spice up front. What's the proof on this?
Oh man,
22 again, like the
Okay.
Redoubtable. So same proof as B.
Mm.
Man, that punches you way more in the front of the palate. I like that.
oh that's real good, Durell.
It is good.
It is very good. All right, so me personally, I like this one over B.
That's because you
Over
like a lot of spice.
Well, I like spice, but this is like spice, and then it turns into sweet, and then
Yeah.
it just like
But then it-
hangs in, and then the spice kind of comes back a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
what I was about, and it finishes with the spice.
Damn, like these flavors, like I don't even feel like trying to wreck my brain.
No, not there. Just right in the living room, right there.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
it's okay.
this is just good. Like
Nobody can see
you know?
you. They can't see you, baby. Told her to put her PJs over there. She's pointing at the camera. I mean, not the camera, the TV. It's too funny.
Well,
Wow.
I think this one, Jason, would pair well with like a Maduro. I don't know if you drink or smoke Maduro wrap cigars, but this one would go really, really well with that Maduro wrap cigar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. That's
well,
I feel like now when I think about this compared to B was a little too like fruity compared to this one. Like this is that perfect, like I'm sorry, I know I'm just talking.
no, go ahead.
Spice, sweet. It had a little bit of butteriness like the third one, but not as buttery. But it's just like, I don't know. This is damn. What have you all done?
Man, it's got like this deep date or plum, like something real dark, but not like over the top sweetness fruit like B did. Like it's there, but it's just this dark note,
Here, one for me.
concentrated.
Exactly.
Oof.
Oh man.
It's the one thing about the I can sit here and just
Here's
milk
Logan.
for like days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all are going to have to go spend more money now, Jason.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Tell Brandy.
Yeah. Brandy, you need to let him go spend more money.
Well, wait. When
Hey.
she brought it up earlier, you said you hadn't bought any whiskey in 3 months. Nothing.
No,
What's
it
that
was
Nothing about
rum?
rum.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Not 3
You
months.
wish you could wait 3
I-
months.
I was just
I'll
trying to
go
give you
ahead.
extra credit there, see if it snuck through, you know?
She didn't say anything about rum. She just said whiskey.
Exactly.
You got so. I mean, come on.
Oh, boy. I feel like I'm getting ganged up here. Put me on the spot.
Oh,
As
man.
long as he doesn't hide it, I'm good.
Okay, I won't have. But I may have to buy like 2 bottles at a time of the same thing, just because I know you like it.
No, see, that's what happens. It's overkill. One bottle.
Okay, one bottle of each.
One bottle.
One
One bottle
each.
each. One bottle each.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
You put your initial on yours, and he'll put his initial on his,
Yeah,
and then you keep out of each other's bottle.
there you go. There you
That's you're
go.
not helping.
I like that.
See, Kelsey doesn't help tonight, right?
Well, hey, this is my life with food. I have to put my initial in my house. It's only me and my wife, no kids.
Okay.
I still have to put my initial on my food because she will take my food and I will take her food if we don't do that.
That's hilarious.
Todd. To kind of get on that, I'm big on smokiness. Like I despise it. So I can't imagine I'm getting that note. I'm not sure what maybe that smokiness is to you, but for me, I don't know if you guys are getting any smokiness on any of these. I get like some bitterness, because they are kind of high aged in a sense. So you get like the milky tannins. But
I would say savory more than smoky. Like I wouldn't say, for me, like if I'm describing it, I would say it's more, some of these are a little bit more savory, which I think is the profile of the oak differences between them and the cask difference. But yeah, I wouldn't say smoky for me.
On C, at the finish of it, there's that, we've talked about kind of an oak, and if there was just this charred oak, that'd be about as much as I could equivalent to something smoky.
Yeah.
More charred than smoky, though.
Mhm.
shoot, going back to C, the nose like super sweet now.
It is. It's very
Go
sweet.
back to A if you want to smell sweetness. Holy cow.
Oh,
It's like syrup.
Oh wow.
So
It
it's
is.
weird.
Like pancakes, dude.
So Copper Wolf's got a question here. Have we tried Hamden Estate rum? I don't think so.
Never heard of
I
it.
have not heard of it either.
What is the Foursquare that it's in the same bottle shape, but it's not labeled as Foursquare?
Not a lot though, because she'll waste it.
You know what I'm talking about, Durell?
Which one? I'm sorry.
It's kind of like a generic Foursquare. It's like a 12-year. It's in the same bottle.
Is it the plantation?
Maybe it is
No,
the plantation.
It's a plantation.
That's what I was thinking of.
Because I know they do. I know that's all Foursquare stuff.
So
And
I haven't
there's
had
one.
Hamden then.
Oh, there's one other one.
RL Steels.
Yes, that one.
That's the other one. Yeah.
RL Sales.
It comes in like a curved neck. It's a skinny bottle at the top and it curves. I think it's RL Seals or something like that.
I've never heard of that one.
Ricardo says that he's going to buy the Touchstone now based on our comments, but I think you could have just based it off of our faces.
Which
For
one?
real. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That was a D.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm torn between B and D.
me too.
That's why I wanted to blind them, and I may even throw the next one because from what I remember, and you had this, Jeff.
Yeah, but yours was always better than mine.
Yeah, but I sent you mine, so you tasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the next one, guys, is the only one that's not Foursquare.
Okay.
It's a brand that they got a decent amount of distribution. So I don't know if you've seen them and just maybe passed them up, but it's called Grander. It's Panamanian rum.
Okay.
So this one's a single barrel store pick. It's 13 years old. It was aged 12 years first in the bourbon cask, then 1 year in another toasted barrel.
Wow.
And this one's the highest proof. This one's 127.8.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I remember this. I haven't had it in probably over a year. I remember this being killer, and it beat out a lot of my other Foursquares that were cash strength.
Damn.
This smells bananas.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, Poppy.
But yeah, so this one isn't Barbadian rum.
Yeah, the first four were all Barbadian rums. This is the only one that's Panama.
From Panama. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah. This smells very good.
I love the color on all these too.
Yeah, that's the label I was thinking of, Bradley. When he said the Handman, I was thinking about the
Back in
Appleton.
the day.
Appleton Estate. Yeah.
Like Jamaica. Was it
Yeah, I never had that Hamden
I don't remember.
or Hampton.
Now, this is fun, though, because then they do get into different finishes on top of this with the rum. So this is a toasted cask finish, just like it would be for bourbon. And I've had one that was finished in a rye barrel before. So they're even experimenting with different finishes, just like bourbon does as well.
Interesting.
What is that smell?
What we'll do, somebody was asking if we would put up the list, Durell, of all of the bottles names and just a list of it. So we'll put that up on Patreon, as well as at the end of the stream. I guess what we can do, or put back up in the comments, is all of the bottles. However we can do that, Jeff, we'll figure that out. But
I think we could probably just change the description inside the YouTube link.
Yeah.
And just add it to the bottom.
No,
We can do that.
Now that list has to expire in like 24 hours. We don't...
It's like Mission Impossible. The envelope has to like blow itself up here.
This,
wow.
it has more of a syrupy taste to it with spice on the nose.
To me, this one's a little bit drier.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Brandy on that for sure.
It is.
I will say the mouthfeel to me is more oily on this compared to the last one. But it doesn't, the spice doesn't come through like the punch on D like we had before at all.
No.
The toast on this one, it gives me the sawdust note that I'm like thinking about with we've talked about it with the old Carters and the 4-gate ones that are more new and finished. I kind of get the toasted note like as a sawdust at the end.
Do you get that? Huh.
I get more coconut on the end, like a toasted coconut, than I do sawdust on the nose.
I think I get that coconut too.
I could see that.
You're getting the sawdust on the nose or on the palate, Jeff?
Palate, back of the palate.
Back of the palate.
But a very similar finish to what I kind of think of sometimes with the old Carter bourbons or with the 4-gate finished ones.
It's not as sweet as like a 4-gate finished one.
No.
But it still has that oiliness. It's very oily.
Mm-hmm.
And that toastiness, I get it a little bit, but it's I guess proof wise, I'm surprised that this is the highest proof. It doesn't taste
drink like D. D, I would have thought would have been higher.
The higher, yeah.
These get dangerous. So that rye finish when I was talking about, I ended up mixing it with on the pool side into some margaritas, or not margaritas, daiquiris or something. Okay. And everybody was having a real good time after about one drink. That wasn't any 80 proof, and they saw me pour it in there and like, oh, you didn't put too much in there. I was like, don't you worry about it.
It'll be just fine. Just wait.
But I do, Brandy, I get the real drying sensation on this last one, on the finish.
Is it drying you out a bit?
Yeah.
I do get a slight drying sensation. I remember this, like, I still enjoy this one, but going back to it now after having Redoubtable and Touch within the flight, it's tough. But this can hold its own against some other Foursquares, which once I had Foursquare, like I had probably 12 to 13 different Foursquares before I had that Grander. And I had like cheaper rums, and all of the other rums didn't come close. But when I had that, I was like, holy crap, this is actually on par with some of those. So I was pretty surprised. But now that it's thrown into the flight, it doesn't shine as much as I thought it would. Yeah. Like B and D for me are 1 and 2. I poured a little bit more of both because I'm gonna mix them up in a second over here and just blind them. I may be able to tell the difference because I know B has that grapey note, but we'll see which one I prefer. I kind of know what I'm leaning towards, but we shall see. Jeff, you're up in the air too between the two, right?
I'm up in the air between B and D. It's a tough battle.
Yeah, I labeled mine earlier on the bottom, so I'll be able to know what's what.
Going back 3 years, though, it's not too surprising now that the Redoubtable stole our heart right away. Now going back to it.
I sent a message to you guys as soon as I had that. I was like, holy crap. Like my local liquor store guy, he's like, yeah, he's like Foursquare. He's like, they're like the Pappy of rum. And I'm like, really? Like, is it supposed to be good? He's like, yeah, it's supposed to be like really, really good stuff. So I went on a whim. I think Redoubtable was like $130 or something like that. So it wasn't cheap, or $120. I cracked it as soon as I got home, and I immediately went the next day and bought 2 more. Dude, immediately. Like, I was like, oh my God, this stuff is like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And then the next day, he hand delivered 2 ounces to each of us too, and then ruined a portion of our wallets for the rest of our life.
For real.
That's
Get
hilarious.
you down a rabbit hole too, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I will
We
say
are,
for me, like,
terrible influences on each other.
yeah, I will say for me, B and D, I think the difference between for me is D would be one that I would drink more often, but B is like the special occasion or mood for. Like I have to be in that mood for all of the grapiness that comes with it. But D is one that I could drink all the time without any, like, grabbing that one. It's real well balanced and it's got a lot of flavor.
Yeah, I like that, Kelsey. I like that 100, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
like I like both of them. I like D a little bit better. B, to your point, is more I'm in the mood for the grapiness or whatever. It's not overwhelming, but it's definitely a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, when it comes to a cigar, the one I want to have with a cigar is B.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all of these are good, man. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, this got to be Redoubtable, dude. As soon as I went back in, like, it's just so, oh God.
Yeah.
B.
Hey,
I know
DC.
you guys aren't up on.
Cheers, DC.
Yeah. Holy crap.
And no, I have not seen the new JD Barrel Proof Rye either.
They've had it in Chicago, but I haven't gotten a bottle of it. Jack Daniel's barrel proof.
See, it happened in that 3-week period. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. And I missed out.
No, it didn't.
We're all ganging up on Brandy.
Exactly.
No.
And the crazy part about all of this is the guy that I normally go to for my bourbon, he's been talking to me about Foursquare for at least 2 years. And I've just been kind of like blowing them off, like, yeah, but how about some bourbon, So I think the next time I go in, I'm going to talk to Foursquare.
Yeah, let me know what you end up grabbing too. I'll be curious.
I'm actually going to text him as soon as we
What do you have in the store right
So,
now?
remember those bottles you told me about 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Do you still
right.
have them? Is this offer still on the table?
Yeah, right. Seriously.
So, Brandy and Jason, which what are your rankings on these that you like the best? Like, if you had to rank them.
Yeah, I'm dancing between, like everybody else, B and D. But I think I'm gonna go with D for number 1, B for 2.
Okay.
D Delta for number 1.
D for 1.
Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. And
And
B
Bravo.
for 2.
For 2. And then I don't know from there. Let me try C again, but I really did like E, although it did have that dryness that I usually shy away from. But it still has a little hint of sweetness at the beginning, but then at the end, it gives you that dryness. So it tricks me.
Like a little
I'm right there with you. What about you, Jason?
So for me, similar to what Brandy said, D was my number 1. David, dog. B as in boy is 2. C is 3. E is 4. and then A would be 5.
So you went D, B,
C.
C, E, A.
Yep.
Okay.
That's really close to mine. I just swap E and A. I think A is 4th and E is 5th for me.
Mhm.
I just like all that syrupy sweetness on A. And I'm like Brandy. I don't tend to like super drying or things. That's kind of a turn off for me. Even though it has a great proof point and all that, I much prefer a sweeter profile. So.
And that's Brandy.
Yeah.
So what you think?
So I guess D, B,
Mhm.
C, A, E.
C, A, E. Okay.
Yeah.
So same as Kelsey.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you two?
I'm fighting, man. I think what I think is B. I think maybe first. So I'm gonna. How much do I got left? Actually, I'm just gonna.
This is Durell all day long, by the way. So pull out more glasses. Let's blind more. Let's get to the bottom of this.
While you're doing that, Durell, Jeff, what's your order?
So, I think I've learned something here, and then it's that I like not just the ex-bourbon, but some secondary cask on top of it to add the extra layer of flavor. So I'm gonna go B as my number 1.
Okay.
So the Redoubtable still my favorite. The Touchstone D is number 2, and I'm gonna go the Saga City as my number 3. I know it gets outproofed, but I just like the flavors on it, which is what leads me back to that. Good. Like having that extra cast adds a lot. I'm gonna go E, which is the Panama one, 4th, and then the 2005 as my last place. Last place in quotes.
Yeah. All right. So I have 2. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got my order too. So this glass is empty. I don't know which one it is yet, but this is the one that won out of the 2 B and D's. I think it's B, Redoubtable. It is. So
okay. Redoubtable. Okay.
Yeah. So that's still my favorite. As much as I love, like, Touchstone is fantastic, but I think it's just that Madeira, those grapey notes, those berry notes that you get at the back of the palate. And I'm a fruit junkie when it comes to like finished whiskeys, or maybe even something tasting finished when it isn't. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, so B, D for me, C, E, A. And Sagacity is really good. It's just I prefer the proof a little bit to bring out those flavors a little bit more. But we're talking like last place. Like all of these are really, really good. So last place is harsh, but it's not harsh at all.
Yeah. This is tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
While you were talking, I just sent the text like Foursquare. I couldn't wait. So I will know soon. But yeah, I agree. I mean, these are all like very good, and you couldn't go wrong with any of them.
I might switch my B and D. I'm just saying.
You like B over D?
Yeah.
Are you flip-flopping?
I'm flip-flopping.
Yeah. Hey man, that's the one that got us all like hooked on rum. So that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that. It's so good.
But everything else is fine.
I heard her say you can get one of each, Jason. Is what I just heard her say.
You heard that, right?
I heard it.
I didn't know if anyone else heard it, but I'm glad.
I heard it.
Thank you, Kelsey. And we got this recorded, so we can always go back.
She's also hedging her bet because she heard Durell say 2020, 2021 release. Those aren't anymore,
exactly.
Right?
We're not available. I get it. Yeah.
But still only one of each. It doesn't mean
one
you get more of the ones that are available, just one of each.
I need to see the price points of these things.
No, they're fine.
Well, the price points. I mean, what are the price points on these, Durell?
So they range. So the non-cash strength versions I've seen from 69 to like 85 at the most. Everything that's been cash strength I've seen range from 89. So like the 2000 versions that are solely just bourbon, so single cask, those are only like 89 to 90 bucks or 95 bucks.
Okay.
The double cask strengths, like the Redoubtables, which is bourbon and Madeira, those range from like 119 to, I have a 17-year-old that's like 139, like 140. That's the most I've seen. And that one's not even the best one. So some of the cheaper ones are better.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
No, it's not terrible.
Especially when you think about how many years it's in the cask versus like what you're paying for bourbon, right? So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, $10 a year, then it's kind of relative, if not even better for some of the stuff, because everything's at least 12 years and you're paying under 100 for some of them. So not bad.
I thought we had a.
What are we doing on timing? Oh, right at
we got. Oh, it's time. Yeah, it's 8:00.
Yeah, we top of the hour here. I mean, just a parting question though, but did this live up, exceed your expectations, and what did you find most surprising about this experience now that you've been introduced to these rums?
It exceeded. Yeah. I would say the rums that I have tried in the past, they don't stand a chance. So, very good job.
Nice.
Ditto.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. This has been very good. I think it's opened up my eyes to something that I walk by every time I go into the liquor store. Don't even think twice about it. And I think I told you all earlier, like before we got on, Diplomatico was the rum that I went for. And now I'm just going to walk by that.
And I don't like Diplomatico.
And she doesn't even like it, yeah.
No.
And I wouldn't even try to couldn't hold a candle to any of these. No. So, yeah.
Because I actually was drinking these.
Right.
Diplomatico, it just sits there. So.
No, this is very good. Durell, nice. I thank you, but I don't thank you because.
No, I don't thank you.
We say that to each other all the time. Don't worry about it. He's used to that.
I think the longest one was 12, right? Durell, no. The oldest one?
2 of them are 14 years.
Two of them are 14. Okay.
Yeah, our 2 favorites were both 14 years.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we've reached our conclusion, everybody. We're at the top of the hour. So we'll go around, we'll sign off, and then send everybody over to the Mash and Drum. So, Durell, why don't you start us off here?
Yeah, cheers, everybody, for joining us. Jason and Brandy, thank you for hopping on. I'm glad that you guys both loved, pretty much all the samples that were sent. Might have put you down that rabbit hole slightly, but, that's what it's all about, trying new things, versus just staying complacent with some of the stuff that we're all used to, right? So I've been wanting to try to get some people interested in rums. So hopefully that worked during this stream. But for everybody tuning in, just continue to follow the journey, man. We like to bring, some fun stuff to these streams. Thank you all.
All right. Kelsey, go around the circle.
You guys can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Kelsey Dime, or email me at the Whiskey Riffs Lounge. Look forward to talking to you guys soon on some reviews. And also, Jeff, do you want me to mention what we're doing next week now?
Let's wait till after Jason and Brandy sign off.
Go ahead, Jason and Brandy.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you all for including us on the flight of rum. So, yes, we are extremely excited about bringing those bottles home. But thank you for having us tonight. Look. But thank you for having us, and this was an awesome time. Yeah. Anything you want to add? And you want to add where you can find us?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Black Bourbon Family, Instagram, Black Bourbon Family, and we may now be called the Black Rum Family.
It's a spinoff channel.
The Black Bourbon / Rum Family. We think alike.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining. And as I've been saying, Durell has been wanting to do this for like a year. So we're so happy to be able to share this with you. So we got 34 people in here, just about to sign off, everybody, but a little preview of next week.
Oof.
We are doing a back-to-back live stream with Jason C. from the Mash and Drum. We're going to start on this channel at 8 p.m. EST, then move to Jason's channel at 9 p.m. EST. But ultimately, what next week is going to come down to is a blending competition. So if you were to go out or have them in your collection right now, we will be blending Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Old Forester Signature 100, Woodford Double Oak, and Maker's 46. And in the hour at 8 p.m., we're all going to get together and try to make the best blend that we can and come up with all the ratios, get real precise. And then on Jason's channel, we're going to blind them and see who wins. So if you want to follow along and blend with us, we will give you all the proportions so that you can see what each of us made and see what's your favorite as well. So join us next week for a double header event on Whiskey Wednesday. But we really appreciate you coming on tonight. Go over to Jason, tell him who sent you. Hello again, whiskey friends, and we'll catch you next week.
See you
Goodbye,
guys.
Cheers, guys.